Well, Mark Meirowitz is a professor at the State University of New York, Maritime College, and political analyst. So you've been a long critic of Trump. What's your view of this case and how it might work out?
Well, I want to clarify that. I'm completely analytical on this, and my personal politics really isn't the issue. The issue is that the problem with this case is that it is tremendously flawed legally. And what you need to do is go back a little in history and look at the situation of John Edwards, who was a vice presidential candidate in 2004. He was accused of basically the same type of thing. It was a little bit different, but similar in the sense that he got money to pay off, to keep out of the campaign, his payments to a pregnant mistress, which would have tanked his campaign. He was acquitted of those charges. What Bragg is bringing here is something untested in law, untested in practice, and by the way, Federal Election Commission, Department of Justice passed on this and did not pursue it. And even in the previous district attorney's office before Bragg, this matter was not pursued. So what is the reason for doing this? The reason for doing it, obviously, appears, as Pence says and others, it appears to be political. The Wall Street Journal said that this is a Pandora's box, that we're opening up a tremendous problem in American politics by indicting a former president. This has never been done before. And by the way, if you look back in American history, we've had a lot of problems with some of our presidents. Clinton was accused of perjury in the Monica Lewinsky case. President Reagan, Iran-Contra, President Cleveland, Teapot Dome, all of these cases occurred, and never was there ever an indictment for a criminal proceeding. So I think that this actually will help Trump in his political campaign. It won't hurt him, I don't think, to become the Republican nominee. This will help him because, honestly, he's had a bit of difficulty lately with other competitors like Pence, DeSantis, Haley, and so forth. And now, what are we talking about? What are we focusing on? Trump, Trump, Trump. So I think that this is a very, very kind of strange and odd situation that we're in. And at the end of the day, I would think that this case will be thrown out at the end, either in the beginning, in the court itself, or maybe even on the appellate level. And as I said,
well, Mark,
it's
unprecedented. His die-hard fans remain unwavering in their support for the ex-president. Some of them have been gathering outside Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida to express their disappointment with the indictment. Let's take a listen.
I just think it's stupid.
I think it's terrible. I think the Democrats just trying to get Trump not to run again. They're trying to put Trump in a grave and make him not exist. I think it's terrible.
I just feel like all they want to do is just see them in handcuffs.
There's all kinds of skeletons in the closet in that Congress and senators. They do it. They just haven't been caught.
The Democrats and the judicial system are doing him wrong. I don't think that. I mean, it could happen to me, it could happen to you, it could happen to anybody. And I think it's kind of scary, and people need to wake up and see this.
Well, back to Mark Meirowitz. Just on this point about how this case could play out, could we see possibly a candidate out campaigning as this case rolls out through the courts? I mean, this really is uncharted territory.
Well, we know Eugene V. Debs was a socialist candidate for president. He got 1 million votes while he was in prison. I mean, there's no handicap or issue with a presidential candidate running for president while having been convicted or indicted. As a matter of fact, as you see, his fans, his supporters, are 100,000% in favor of him. Where he has the problem is if he becomes a Republican nominee, which actually this will help him to become, in the regular election, independents might be very wary of voting for a candidate who has been convicted or indicted. But at the end of the day, as I said, the legal factors here are very, very tenuous. Why? Because what they're taking is a bookkeeping violation and connecting it up with an election violation. And what is the pivotal point of it is whether he intended to use this money to pay off Stormy Daniels in order to help his campaign. His argument is, as was John Edwards' argument in 2004, I did it because I wanted to keep this from my wife. I wanted to keep this from my family. That's the same argument that Edwards made in connection with the payments that were made to his pregnant mistress. Now, in the case of Edwards, his campaign tanked. It went away. His political career was finished. In the case of Trump, we're in a whole new universe of Trumpville, or Trump universe, where the supporters are actually energized by what Bragg is doing. And here is the point about Bragg. New York City, where I live, is in rotten shape. We have crime. We have, we can't go in a drugstore and buy things because everything in there has been closed up because people are afraid of things being stolen. And what has happened is Bragg has taken felonies and made them into misdemeanors, just for nomenclature, felony serious crimes, and converted them into minor crimes. Here, he's taking a misdemeanor, which is a minor crime of bookkeeping, and he's supercharging it up to a felony because he wants to convict President Trump. And I would say that that is a legal path that is not viable at all.
OK, Mark Meirowitz, professor at the State University of New York. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme, and we'll be watching this over the next few days.
Thank you.